Many men don't understand the reason that women give them shit tests and what the purpose of it is. And a lot of the times when a man first experiences this, he doesn't even understand what it is. So his reaction is usually going to be to try and acquiesce to the woman, or to try to compromise, or to try to make her comfortable by investing in her more non-sexually, right? And as a man gets a little more knowledge, a little bit more game, then when he understands that it's a test and that a woman isn't being truly sincere or genuine in how she feels, although she isn't, a lot of times women aren't even purposefully doing it as a test, but it's something that's ingrained in them, it's hardwired in. And I'm going to get to that a little bit later, right? But when a man usually gets to that point, now he gets upset, now he gets angry, right? Because now he knows that it is not something that is completely genuine or authentic. So now he's upset because he feels the woman is just testing him. She's just disrespecting him. He takes it as disrespect, and it is disrespect. But what a man needs to understand is that a woman is going to test you because she's unsure about your masculinity. And the reason she's unsure about your masculinity works like this. I'm going to give you a parable, right? This is a parable about masculine frame, right? So let's say you're a man, your vulnerability, the good qualities that you have, all of the different things that you have to offer. Those are the things that are your body. Those are the things your vulnerability. That is inside of your house. Your house is your masculine frame. So let's say you're talking to a woman, right? Now what a shit test is, it is a woman attempting to use her nature, her female nature, which is her emotions, to try and break down your house. She's attempting to tear down your house. And she's attempting to tear down your house by getting you to sabotage or to compromise or to acquiesce or to go against your program and your masculine frame. So she's going to huff and puff and try different things in order to get you to tear your house down, which is your masculine frame. Now, a man's mindset is often he's going to let a woman get emotional, and he's going to say, I'm going to get emotional too, so that you can understand me, so I can understand you, so we can quote unquote communicate. And communication is mostly bullshit. A lot of that is just a woman desiring a certain level of emotional validation as a transaction for cooperation. It's not real submission. So when you go through that process with a woman, after she gets into your house, you're looking at her like, hey, I'm vulnerable now. You're vulnerable too. Let's be vulnerable together. Let's join. Let's have this mindset where we're both with each other, and we're bare and laid out to one another. Listen, that is the worst thing you can do. Because a woman doesn't feel it's genuine. She doesn't feel like you're genuine. She doesn't feel like your masculine frame was true. She feels like your house is weak. She does not trust you now, right? She already didn't trust you, which is why she came beating on your house with her emotions. That's why she came beating on your house with the shit test. And now that your house is beaten down, when you try to present yourself to her, emotionally and say, this is who I am, I'm here for you, now she wants to leave. Why? Because now that you're open armed, and she's looking right at you, she's like, nigga, you don't have a house. So she leaves. Now, what masculine frame is this? How you conduct your program is this. Let's say a woman is beating against your house with her weather, right? Because a woman's female nature, it is symbolic of nature itself. A woman wants to feel that she can trust you. If a woman feels like every time she gets into her emotions that you're going to get into your emotions as well, then you're pushing her into her masculine energy. And a woman who wants to stay in her feminine energy is just going to try to tear the house down, so that when she sees you without your house, which is your masculine frame, that now she can look at you, say you're unattractive, say that you do not have a house, so now she can walk away without looking back. But if that woman beats against your house and your house stays standing, then a woman may never ever feel the freedom to completely walk away unless she's just not attracted or not interested in you, or something else happened along the way. But for the most part, if you maintain masculine frame, when a woman tries to attempt that, what's going to happen is she's going to beat against the house. She's going to try to walk away, or, it's back and forth like the wind. But if your house stays stable, when the weather calms down, you can open up the door and say, "Are you good now?" Right? And then you can invite her in like she has some damn sense. And when she can come in like she has some damn sense, now you've maintained masculine frame. She's submitted to your program, your masculine energy, and she can come in and you can operate with each other like adults, like you have some sense. But if she starts getting turbulent once again, then she needs to leave. And she can come back if she can get that back under control. And in some instances, if the disrespect was great enough, she has to make it up to you first. In whatever way she showed her ass. Because you're not just going to give me the quiet of the eye of the storm for a moment in order to give the semblance of cooperation or to give the semblance of submission without that really happening. This is something to understand. So when we're looking at this type of situation, as a man, your masculine frame is your house. And the reason why she's like this is because a woman represents nature. A woman wants to feel safe to be in her feminine energy around you without feeling like you are going to break down and fall down under the pressure, or feeling like you are going to give into whatever her demands are, which, they're whimsical, they go with the wind, or without feeling like you are going to get your emotions with her, or feeling like you're going to try to acquiesce to her, or feeling like you're going to get mad and beat her ass for disrespect, because she needs to know these things about you. She needs to know if you're a man who can stay stoic. She needs to know if you're a man who can be indifferent to her bullshit. She needs to know if you're a man who can stand his ground on what he believes and what he stands for. And if you're not, then she's going to use that to disqualify you. Because oftentimes a woman may be stuck with a man. Oftentimes a woman will be in a position where she doesn't feel free to leave because she wants to be feminine. She doesn't want to make a logical decision to leave. So her decision to leave is going to be based off of how she feels about you, and how she feels about you is going to be based off of a combination of her sexual attraction to you and also her receptiveness, her receptivity to your masculine energy, to your masculine frame. She's going to be attracted to those boundaries, to test those boundaries, to see if you are a man of quality. You being a man of quality, being a high value man, it has nothing to do. I don't believe in value based dating. You being a man of substance has nothing to do with how much money you have, has nothing to do with what car you drive. It really don't even have to do what you have in a car. Now, your masculine frame can play a part in you having the ability to gain those things, but that is just a symbol. It's not the actual substance. So what a woman wants to see is she wants to see that you're a man who can stand on his word, to stand on who he is, and to be unwavered by life, right? If a woman can cause you to get off your program by her trying to throw her social programming at you, by her trying to, cancel or flake, or by her doing these different things, which are disrespectful, if she can get you to have an emotional reaction because of these things, it causes her to justify her lack of attraction to you at that moment. But in many of these instances, a woman is just unsure about you at that moment. And she wants to test you to see if you are the man she can submit to. And if you pass that test by being indifferent to her bullshit, or by being willing to walk away without doing it in an angry or butthurt way, then what'll often happen is she will know she did wrong, and she will want to do whatever she has to do to make it up to you, because she knows that you're a quality man, and she doesn't want to lose having that around her. So keep your house up. Keep your house strong. Keep a strong house. And she only gets to come inside to see your vulnerability, to experience you compromising, if there's any compromise at all, to experience you, communicating with her and expressing yourself. She has to submit for that. A woman who doesn't submit to you does not deserve these things. She's not worthy of it. She's not a quality woman to you. She may be a quality woman to someone else, but she's not quality to you. Both you and her should be ashamed of yourselves for you desiring female companionship so much that you're willing to deal with a woman who isn't submissive. And she should be ashamed of herself for desiring validation so much that she will deal with a man who she's not willing to submit to. Both of you should be ashamed of yourselves. And most men, we found ourselves in that position. But this is just something that we need to understand, that as a man, you need to stand your ground. As a man, you need to have your own ideas, your own program, know what you want out of a situation, and not be indecisive about it. Not be afraid of her walking away if you stand your ground on what you believe in. And, one thing that a lot of guys do experience too, and I'll say this, I'll just throw this in there real quick, is sometimes a man naturally has a little bit of a more feminine mindset. Not completely feminine, but he just has a little bit of wiggle room for, for bending here and there, because he may see that as more advantageous positions. But if a woman sees her position in your life as more important than sticking up to what you want, she's not going to respect you. She's not going to desire you because she's going to feel like you're a bitch. Honestly, that's just, as men, we need to understand that. When it comes to submission, this is what goes into it. When it comes to desirability with the woman, these are the things that go into it. So I just say that as a man, just understand to keep your house strong. Understand that a woman's emotion is going to represent life, because you never know what's going to happen in life that's going to throw you off your rocker. You never know what hard experience may come about that may challenge that perception of strength that you have, that veneer, that image of strength and masculinity that you try to put out in front of other people. You never know what position you're going to put in that's going to make you look weak. What if you have a day where you don't have your clothes together? Like, let's say you got to wash some clothes and maybe you didn't wash them ahead of time. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes, let's say you meet a woman, and when you meet that woman, you don't have your fit all together. Maybe you're just, you're having a lounge day, you're washing clothes, whatever it is. If you do not have the confidence to approach that woman regardless of what you have on, let's say you have two cars. Let's say you have your nice car and then you have your work truck or whatever it is. If you don't have the confidence to approach that woman unless you're in your nicer car, your nicer clothes, or unless you have the best job, you could have a great job and then get laid off. Maybe you don't even see it coming. As a man, you should forecast that. But let's say you don't see it coming. Does that mean that from now on you're just going to say, okay, cool, I'm not worthy of a woman until I have enough money to provide for her? No, that's not true. That's not true. Like I always say, it's GD. Goddamn, right? Nah, GD is good dick and guidance. Good dick and guidance. Those are the things that you offer a woman that bring about submission. Is good dick and guidance. If she feels your sexual energy enough to where she desires you, it creates an emotional reaction in her that causes her to say, I'm going to do what this nigga says. That's how she sees it. That's how she feels. Now, she may not be able to express that verbally, but if you have enough conversations with the women that you deal with who are submissive, that is how they feel about you. She wants to follow you more than she wants what she wants. And when you are acquiescing to a woman, she feels that you feel that way about her, and it puts her into her masculine energy to where now she has to make decisions. Now she has to choose things. Now she has to decide for you and not only think for herself, but think for your emotions as well. And to many women, that doesn't feel fair to them. It doesn't feel fair because you're causing them and you're desiring them to be in a logical state of mind. A woman isn't meant to be in a logical state of mind all the time. A woman is meant to be able to rest in her emotions and her femininity and know that a man is going to be able to be masculine enough to maintain the situation without her input. Now, of course, you listen to a woman somewhat and you figure out what she wants as well to make sure that it's not a situation where she's just being transactional about getting with your program, but also understand that it is not your place to be trying to figure out what she feels all the time and then acquiesce to that. That's not conducive to having a relationship with a good masculine feminine dynamic. You're going to get rid of all the polarity. You're going to get rid of all the polarity. So this is just the parody or the parable of the house in the storm, right? There's the parable of the house in the storm. If a woman feels that you can handle her emotions, then she feels that you can handle life. If you can handle it with positivity and indifference and stoicism, then a woman feels that you can do that with life, and then now she has the ability to trust you.